what better tune can be more peak than the peak of Everest himself? I'm gonna miss you, man. In case you're wondering who Everest is, he's this Yeti that after teenage Yi discovers on the roof of her apartment building, her, along with her two friends, Pang and Jin, embark on an epic quest to reunite this magical creature with his family of other Yetis in the mountains, in the Himalayas. But to do so, we must do the typical one step ahead of a wealthy financier and this determined zoologist who wants to capture the beast for her own gain and, sell it to the highest bidder, that type of thing, the abuse of animals. But we can't let that happen. And it was my father's dream to see this statue at the Himalayas, to see the peak of only what is the entrance to Mount Everest. So I thought it would be honorable to name the Abominable snowman after the location that my father always spoke about. If I had to take a guess as to which of these DreamWorks Animation pictures would be considered underappreciated, it would probably go to Abominable. On the tip of the summit, it seems like just another tale about keeping the animal alive and safe from poachers while trying to get it home. But when you recycle two different story elements that helped to make two of the greatest DreamWorks animation films of all time, the best is yet to come. Two of the greatest DreamWorks animated films in which Abominable borrows elements from are The Croods in 2013 and How to Train Your Dragon in 2010, to use as pillars to tell its own narrative. What we have here is a young girl named Yi, who has been a loner by choice ever since her father died, and she plays the violin as a memento because we all have our ways to cope. She has ambitions to travel across China as a means to escape her busy life because, she's trying to find herself and she's trying to make money, do all that she can. And she still misses daddy. So what does she do? She plays the violin on her roof in the midst of the night. We run into Everest somehow on the rooftop and the rest is history. This is almost parallel to the character of Eep in the Croods, who wishes to have her world far exceed the parameters of the four walls in her cage. We talked about it. Follow the sun and you'll find tomorrow. Hey, follow the Yeti and he knows where to take you. He's really trying to go home. We're really trying to help him to go home. But what if he's taking you to the place you've always wanted to go as well? As with the Yeti, she comes across and forms a bond with over the course of the journey. This is nearly as reminiscent of the classic historical moment in animation history when Hiccup first encountered Toothless. Need I say more? Needless to say, these elements in those respective movies are the reason they hold up and are the reason that they still are masterful to this day. And it would have been a missed opportunity had Abominable refused to recycle those ideas. Of course, you are entitled to your own opinion. My opinion isn't the right opinion. It's just my take. Abominable gives us an original illustration of how the power of perseverance, and perseverance is no different from the life lessons that get portrayed in family films. But this is one of those instances where the heart of the story can be found in the overarching adventure that is shown rather than being told to us. It slowly starts as feeling like How to Train Your Dragon with the friendship dynamic between the monster and man, which is Yi. And then it just feels like an adventure with similar goals to the Croods. We're trying to go to this place. We're trying to reach tomorrow, wherever that may be. But on the way to tomorrow, we encounter these very immaculate, pristine locations that make the greatest landmarks jealous. But then they leave it up to the audience to realize that although there are parallels here and there, everything adds up to being a test of resilience and determination. Everyone in this movie is determined to accomplish something, especially Everest and Yi. Yi understands the strength and the resilience it takes to mourn, even to move on. But the closer she grows to Everest and the closer she gets to Mount Everest, the easier it becomes for her to find closure with her father. You want to know what Yi had to teach Jin about this fish called koi? On the way to Everest's home, we stop places and we discover these incredible landmarks and these immaculate landscapes that are aesthetically pleasing, and we come across this river and we see koi actually swimming against the rapid stream. We see koi swimming upstream when the streams are going the opposite way. And I explained it to him by saying the koi represents perseverance. Against all odds, against all the strengths of the rapids pushing against them, and the rapids going downstream, and they're going at almost like a stair step style, going downstream. The koi have the resilience and the determination to swim upstream by jumping out of the water and up in the opposite direction of the stream. That is how Yi, Pang, Jin, and Everest are going to be when we go find his home. We are like the koi that are swimming against the rapids that stand in our way. And those rapids are obviously the corporate douches that want to lock up Everest and use him for whatever they choose to use him for. This about finding closure with her father, though, actually comes when her violin gets broken, only to be sewn back together with 3 strands of Everest's hair, allowing her to play a new song that compels her with the confidence to keep moving forward, because you will never properly leave what you don't properly grieve. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 83% recommendation. And with an 83% recommendation, Abominable is adorable as it is astonishing. This film achieves the goal of persevering in its storytelling, even if that means retreading some of the same heartfelt elements, which in doing so serves more of a testament as to why the Croods and How to Train Your Dragon were captivating auroras within the tapestry of DreamWorks Animation pictures. So for that, I put my money down on about 80 bags of bows out of 100. So I'd give this film like an 8 out of 10 in dummy terms. In China, we would say 80 bows in exchange for this. So that is all I have to say, and that is all I have to recount about Everest and Yi and their adventures together with their friends, and how Yi managed to find herself, and how Yi was able to find closure. Until next time, keep on persevering.